Budgeting is the process of designing, mapping, and charting where every dollar goes to fund the life you want. Instead of thinking of it as a barrier, view it as the mechanism that makes your desired lifestyle possible. To start mapping, we have to look at this equation. It is the baseline math of all personal finance. Income minus expenses equals the gap. This gap represents the mathematical difference between building wealth and accumulating debt. But there is a strict rule to this equation. As you can see here, your gross income is immediately reduced by taxes, insurance, and other deductions. Budgeting with your gross income leads to spending money you don't actually have. Your calculation must use your net income, the take-home pay that actually hits your account. Mastering this single, true net income equation is the prerequisite to everything else. If that gap is positive, you build wealth. But if it is negative, you accidentally build debt. This ledger represents the auditing process. To find your real numbers, pull your bank statements from the last 3 months and list every transaction. If you're a freelancer or an hourly worker, establish a baseline by averaging your last 3 months or using your lowest earning month. Next, we sort your expenses. They fall into 2 categories. Fixed expenses are costs that stay the same every month, like your rent or a car payment. Variable expenses are costs that fluctuate, like your groceries and gas. Once the expenses are sorted, we apply a second filter to separate true needs from habitual wants. Needs are the requirements for daily life: housing, basic utilities, and essential groceries. Wants are things you could do without if you had to, like streaming subscriptions or dining out. Accurately categorizing these expenses strips away financial illusions. It shows exactly where your money is leaking out and what costs are actually within your control. This pie chart illustrates the 50-30-20 rule. It is a common starting framework. You dedicate 50% of your take-home pay to your needs, 30% to your wants, and the remaining 20% goes towards savings or debt payments. If you need tighter control, you can use zero-based budgeting. As this ledger shows, you take your total monthly income and assign every dollar a specific task until your bottom line equals exactly 0. You can pair these frameworks with physical tactics, like the envelope method, where you withdraw cash for specific categories, or the pay yourself first method, which automates savings before any bills are paid. The specific framework you choose matters less than the psychological shift of giving every dollar of your net income a deliberate purpose. This creates a new dilemma. Once you have that 20% of your income carved out, you have competing goals. How do you decide between building an emergency fund, paying off a student loan, or paying off credit cards? This priority pyramid removes the guesswork. Step 1 is securing a starter emergency fund of $500 to $1,000 to cover immediate shocks. Step 2 is capturing any employer 401k match. That is guaranteed money, and you should take the full amount available. Step 3 is aggressively tackling high-interest debt, like credit cards or payday loans. Once that is gone, Step 4 is expanding your starter fund into a full 3 to 6 month safety net. Only then do you reach Step 5, long-term wealth building and investing. Let's test this logic. If your net income is $4,000 a month and your basic needs cost $2,400, is your budget balanced according to the 50-30-20 rule? The answer is no. $2,400 is 60% of a $4,000 income. Your survival costs are too high. To balance this, you would need to reduce your needs, slash your wants, or increase your income. Following this strict mathematical hierarchy protects you from sudden financial shocks while optimizing your long-term wealth accumulation. If you run your numbers and find you are in the red, don't panic. This is a common starting point. A budget is a diagnostic tool. If you discover a deficit, there are only 2 mathematical levers available to fix it. You must increase your income or decrease your variable wants. Here is the actionable checklist. First, calculate your true net income. Second, track and categorize your expenses. Third, pick a budgeting system. Fourth, automate your savings priorities. Budgeting is a continuous habit where every dollar assigned a job becomes a dollar working for your future freedom.